Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of This Is My Bourbon Podcast. I'm your host, Perry, and with me, basically across the city of Lexington, because we're two tired dads again, sitting in our own studios, recording and putting up little heart signs because we love each other. It's Eric, the Whiskey Mutant.
Hang time, running together.
Gonna have a good time.
Putting it on the line.
Gonna have a good time.
Well, always remember me and my friends at Hang Time. I used to watch that show all the time.
I've not seen Hang Time before. That's not the first time that you've brought this up to me.
Hang Time was, it was around like the TGIF era.
Thanks, John F. Kennedy.
But I never got so it's basically centers around basketball. It's like this high school. It's like Saved by the Bell, but like the main, like they all play basketball, and there's like one girl that made the boys team, and like one of the boys likes her, all this stuff. But the song it says, "I'll always remember me and my friends at Hang Time." Like the school is not called Hang Time. Like
so it's just the designated, like it's the designated hang time. Is that what it means? Like the time that they've set aside to hang out together?
No, I don't know. Like they've
This
made
is another
this
episode of Perry and Eric dissect theme songs from 90s TV shows that time has forgotten.
They were so lazy in making the song like actually like have like feelings and stuff. They're like, we'll just say, I always remember me and my friends at Hang Time. Like Hang Time is like the town.
Hang Time USA, baby.
Hang Time USA. Let's ball out. Ball out.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another episode. If you're here for the first time, though, appreciate you checking out the podcast.
Thanks for
consider
hanging out.
subscribing and all that. If you've not yet let yourself give a 5-star rating and review, you absolutely should. What have you been waiting for? Now's the time.
Stop the recording. Do it now and come back.
Yeah, because that if you do that, that means that we're gonna read it out on the podcast now.
Right now.
But we do read out all reviews on the podcast as well.
You
Good,
got about
bad, ugly.
1 hour
whatever.
to do it.
You know this is going out like a week and a half after we record, right?
Well, I mean, at some point, it'll work out. It'll work out. It always works out.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm not too worried about
for
it.
us. It always works out for us.
It genuinely does just about 98% of the time. And I'll tell you one thing that has worked out really well is people are loving our review of the Wilderness Trail 8-year-old bottled and bond bourbon. They are. Thank you guys so much for watching that, and we're actually recording this before that full episode comes out. But I do hope that everybody has listened to the whole episode, and
yeah,
because there's a lot in that episode that I left out of the video.
Yeah, I was wondering where I would kick somebody in the balls for this bourbon.
I wanted to save that for the episode, and I felt like, here's the thing, that felt like a moment for us to kind of show off. Prove ourselves, and we're like, hey, we know what we're doing. But I just got emotional about the whole thing, and
dude, it's awesome. I love that.
Yeah. But I mean, like, we've heard back from Pat. I haven't even told you this. Pat, like, Dr. Pat watched the video. He was like, man, yeah. He said he sent me a private message, and he said, man, I was getting emotional watching that.
Okay. You don't. I don't know if you can take this out if you want or whatever. But I got a random, like, on one of my stories and stuff, and it was like the story is already gone, but I tagged Dr. Pat in it, and he just replied to it, and it said, "I'm so glad that you liked it," and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Oh, huh? Yeah," like at the time, like I was like, "Yeah, we loved it and stuff," but now I get that it was after the video came out.
Oh, okay.
So he sent me a message after that.
Oh, okay.
But I wasn't putting it together because I was like, I guess I didn't think about him watching it or anything like that. So now I get it.
He watched it, and actually, I was texting Haley before it came out. I was like, do you want me to spoil how much we loved it? And she was like, you have to let me know. And so I don't want to spoil anything here if there's still folks, because there are still folks who haven't watched it yet, but or listened to that episode. But high remarks, high marks, high regards. I don't know. I'm not good with sentences anymore. It's late.
I have no problem with that. I bought an extra bottle. I'm very happy with that.
I cracked it open with Papa Ritter last night. I was like, you gotta try some of this.
It's just something special, man.
It really is. It really is. And little inside scoopage here too.
Exclusive.
Pat said that he couldn't wait for the 10-year.
Oh my God.
And the 12-year. And beyond.
Beyond.
2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row that we've had a little bit of a scoop.
Sorry. I mean, I just 12-year. Could you if
right now, no. And the thing is, like, with as much as we love that 8-year-old bourbon, I don't even know what to expect at 10 and 12, man.
It's almost.
I really don't.
I'm just nervous because I'm like, I don't want it to like.
What do we do? Do we paint ourselves into a corner? I think we did. I think we did.
It's going to take so much, and this is not me saying they can't do it, because obviously they can.
Oh, of course they can.
But it's going to take a lot to beat that. I mean, it's just a phenomenal pour.
It is
phenomenal.
Absolutely. I'm gonna be actively pouring out half ounces for people, just so I can hold on to it for
And we got to see.
Longer.
We'll have to, when they, if any of it makes it to distro, we'll have to see if we can grab some too, because I think it's like
we're gonna have
only
to,
or something like that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to for sure. But I don't think we have any housekeeping up top. We are getting closer to the big celebration month of Awesome August, where Eric and I are celebrating our birthdays. And we're going to be using it as a Patreon pledge drive month as well. Going to be doing some special things, hopefully getting some special guests as well to do said special things. But there's going to be a lot of bonus Patreon content. We'll do some stuff in the main feed as well, bonus-wise. Yeah, so that whole month of August is going to be chock full.
Big ass August.
Look, if that's what we've got to call it, then fine. I love it. Still taking suggestions for our November charity campaign for a clean water initiative. So if you have anything in mind, please let us know. Drop us a line. My Bourbon Pod. This is mybourbonshop@gmail.com. And speaking of Patreon too, patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month is where you can support this show, the one that you're listening to right now.
That's true.
It's important. It helps us out a lot, and keeps the lights on and keeps our bellies full.
Would you rather lose 4 quarters in the crescents of your car seat?
Crevices?
Is that what I said?
You said crescents.
I said crevices.
No, you didn't. You said crescents.
No, croissant roll.
Oh, there we go. Sorry.
Would you rather lose 4 quarters in a croissant roll, or would you rather send us $1?
The croissant roll that's in your couch.
Yeah, that got stuck in the crevices of the couch. The croissant roll in the crevices of the couch or your car seat that's keeping your change locked away like a demon down there. Or would you rather just support the show and get cool shit like extra episodes and stuff like that?
What if we did this? I'm probably setting myself up for failure here, but
croissant rolls for everybody. All the Patreon.
We're gonna mail everybody a croissant roll that signs up for Patreon in the month of August.
I'll sign it too.
Let's do this. We'll do something fun.
Ooh, fun.
We'll do a couple of things. One, Everybody who signs up in the month of August, you will get a personal audio message. Thank you
can do that.
from the both of us.
Yeah.
Recorded together. You will receive. That's for everybody. Okay. At $5, you get video. No, that's dumb. How about $5? You get a 1 ounce sample of something from our collection.
And we gotta.
We got tiers.
We got to get started on it now. I was going to say, we should make a special joint birthday sticker.
Oh, yes.
And we can send it out.
Absolutely. Yes. For everybody who signs up.
Yes.
Yes. $5, you get a 1 ounce sample of something from our collections.
Anything.
$10.
We pick it, though.
We pick it, yes. $10, 2 ounce sample.
Damn.
That's probably too much. I think I'm promising too much here. How about I don't know. We'll figure something else out, and I'll put some more
big ass August
for big ass August. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, we normally start episodes out with a segment that is either called Flying Blind, where one of us blinds the other with a sample or a pour, or Sips and Snacks, where we pair a snack with a particular pour. And this week we are doing Flying Blind.
We are flying blind.
And Eric has provided the sample of Flying the Blind here for us this week.
It's not blind to me.
It's late and I'm tired. I'm sorry.
Wake up, Buttercup. Strap in, because I'm about to get your ass.
Our toddler's going through sleep regression right now, which is no fun. And she was a lot today. And
that smell good, right? That smell good, right? Right?
That smell good.
Yeah.
That smell good.
It's dark and tobacco-y and like bakeries.
I'm getting a lot of raspberry on it, oddly enough.
I can see that berry.
That is so good. I'm always slightly nervous with blind pours.
I was just going to say with me. I'm always slightly nervous.
I'm just always slightly nervous. I'm like a chihuahua. I'm always slightly nervous with blinds because I run the risk of... And, it's not that my palate hasn't developed over the past few years and I, have changed opinions and whatnot. But that I'm either going to have something that I liked when I first tried it.
Yeah.
And I have it blind. I'm like, that's the worst thing I've ever had. Or the opposite.
Right.
Where I hated it.
Congratulations. You just liked the Wiseman bourbon.
This is not the Wise Man.
No, it's not.
This is not the Wise Man at all.
98% in the poop category.
I will never apologize for making you tell Seth from Broken Barrel what you said. I'm going to say, I've been doing really bad with proof recently. I'm going to not go with my first instinct. I'm going to go 110.
Okay.
I'm going to go 8 years old.
Okay.
Kentucky bourbon. Not finished.
Okay.
Wild turkey.
Okay. You're close on everything.
Except for the distillery.
Except the distillery. Yeah.
That's fair.
It is a Kentucky bourbon.
Hmm.
It is 8.5 years old.
Okay.
It's 100 proof.
I'd still get a couple points.
Yeah. This is
It's 100 proof.
Bottled and Bond.
Whoa.
1792 pick from Ernie's.
That is easily the best 1792 bottled and bond I have ever had.
Barreled on 1/23/14, and it just came in like a month or two ago, so it would have been 20,
oh my gosh,
22.
really?
Yeah. So a little over 8 years.
Yeah.
Really good, right?
Man.
Sold out really fast too.
I'm sure it did. It's also kind of got this like banana bread coffee cake thing going on too that I really like.
I always get banana on Bottled and Bond 1792.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
God, it's so good. I love the nose on it. It's one of my favorite noses. It's so dark.
Barton products definitely throw me for a loop if I'm doing them blind up against like Brown Forman.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Because
they're very similar.
I get those banana notes, and I'm like, Brown Forman, but then it also could be, and they're different banana notes. Like Brown Forman products are typically like artificial banana, and Barton is usually like banana bread.
If you closed your eyes and pictured a Jack Daniel's single barrel in your head and smelled of this, you would think you were smelling a Jack Daniel's single barrel.
I don't know. It's got a little bit more tobacco on it than I'm used to with Jack Single Barrel.
I don't know. Like it's got this banana coconut like dark on it that reminds me of a Jack Single Barrel.
Where are you? Oh. I'm at a point where I've got too many bottles, and I see things. I'm like, what is that? That's not. I don't remember that being there.
What is that? I know. Big ass August. We're going to be straightening up the studio.
Yes, we are. I'm in cleaning mode as well too. I was telling Eric off air that I got into cleaning the house mode today, and so now I'm all ready to go, brother.
Ready to go, brother.
So I actually did just pour a little bit of a Jack barrel proof single barrel just to see out of curiosity.
That's a good idea. I think
Do you have any nearby?
Idea. If you give me 1 second, I can get some.
Go for it.
And I'm back.
Hey, he's back.
I grabbed a little Toll wine pick.
I just went with one off the shelf. Mine is 131.4 proof.
This was the closest one because I had it on the table over there. Mine is 128.1 proof.
Not too far off from each other. I'll say this. Comparing the two, and I am getting tobacco on Jack Daniel's. What I'm getting more on the 1792 is more of like tobacco scented like candles or body wash or hand soap or something like that.
Like a spray, like a body spray?
Kind of. Yeah, kind of.
Man, I love Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof. But these two are very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. This Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof I got is a little bit more tobacco-y, like you were saying. Almost
But it's real tobacco. It's not.
It's like a gas station.
Yes.
Yep. And I'm not like, you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean.
God, so good.
Man, but the thing is, like putting that bottled and bond right up next to the Jack Daniel's, it's like I'm not giving the 1792 a fair shake.
We already gave it a chance.
We gave it a chance. It's really good. It's really good.
It is good.
There's a reason I'm a proof hound, though. Oh, I don't want to make my dogs howl. Your dogs howl? Oh, Hazmat.
No. They just bark.
Castrate. Your face looks really funny when you do that for some reason. You look like somebody. I think it's, I don't know, like somebody in a, I don't know, whatever. Let's move on. What have you been drinking recently?
What have I been drinking? Well, I've been doing Adam Levine's Christmas,
Yeah.
not Christmas in July, Advent in July.
Jewish Christmas in July.
Italian Christmas in July, which has been really fun doing it with everybody on whiskey in my wedding. Whiskey ringers, yes, whiskey in my wedding ring. The Facebook group there, that's been fun. You came over the other day and we had a Starlight pick from Bourbon Finds and our friend Steve from Bourbon's Bourbon. It was finished in some random wine barrel, but it's got a dinosaur on the sticker, so it's pretty awesome.
Which Steve is just so happy about.
Yeah, he loves Jurassic Park. Had that, and that's kind of it. Like, because we were just I'm just still stuck on the 8-year wilderness trail.
Oh yeah,
we don't have to talk about that. But I think those are the two couple things I would say. I had some beer when I was watching.
I drank a beer.
I drank a beer. I drank another beer.
Drank another beer.
I drank another beer.
I had 4 beers.
5 beers. I drank 5 beers, 6 beers,
and a Bloody Mary.
That's the what got me.
I had some beers too. We went over to our friend's house and we had a Mario Kart night on Saturday.
Hell yeah!
We played Mario and we finished out with Switch Sports, which if you've not played the updated sports game from Nintendo yet,
is it like Wii Sports?
It's just like Wii Sports, but it looks nicer.
Nice. I need to get that.
But yeah, man, I drink a lot of beer.
Remember that time you came over to my house? You and Lucy came over.
Of course I do.
I kicked April's ass in Street Fighter.
In Street Fighter,
and then I kicked everybody else's ass in Street Fighter every time they tried to play me.
Yeah, I remember.
So come at me.
I remember.
If you're listening. I'll play you on Street Fighter right now. Not you.
Tried a few. Tried a couple new things. One was a strawberry kiwi cider from Pivot Brewing.
Pivot
here in town. Yeah. And then also, our friends had it was the bubbles from Rheingeist.
Oh yeah,
but they added jalapenos.
Oh shit, that sounds like diarrhea waiting to happen for me.
Firea. Coming out right my butt. It just means it burns. No, it was really, really good. I mean, just a little bit of jalapeno juice that was in there, along with the bubbles. It was fantastic, man. I really, really enjoyed it. But we also, I don't even know if I told you this directly. I got a mail call on Saturday. And Eden was trying to take a nap, and the UPS guy comes and rings the doorbell, and the dogs are barking. And we're like, of course he had to ring the doorbell. Like, we're pissed about it and everything. I'm out here working, and Lucy's like, you've got a package. And I was like, no kidding.
Yeah, you got a package, all right. Bring that package over here, baby boy. Come on. Get over here, daddy.
Anyway,
What?
I had a box from Heaven Hill, and they sent us a bottle of the 7-year bottled in bond.
For real?
Yeah. I got no prior notification about it. I don't know if an email got lost in my inbox or what, but it was.
Does that mean it's like official Kentucky now?
Yep.
It's like,
that's why they sent it. The little note card that they sent, maybe it'll
now
focus
available
on
in Kentucky. I see that part. Damn, that's awesome.
My light's too bright, I guess. But yeah, I was after opening it, I was kind of glad that I didn't go out and buy a bottle because we got one sent to us.
I thought I was special because I got this one. Now, what if I just threw it back? I was like, okay, I know we did this. I know we did it on a Flying Blind.
We have reviewed it on the show. It's been a long time.
It was with Swan, and somebody brought one to you, right? Something like that.
I had to get it sent. So we got a sample of it from Heaven Hill when it first came out, when it wasn't available in Kentucky. But Clifton had found a bunch at his Costco out in California. And I think they were right at MSRP or something. So he had to send me a bottle. But now we've got one.
Now look at you.
Ain't we special?
Ain't it special?
Something else, man.
I'm just glad you can get it in Kentucky.
Me too.
Then they're going to come out with something else. It's like the 9-year bottled in bond.
Dadgummit.
Texas only.
We're actually going to dangle it above everybody's head in Kentucky, but it's going to be just a couple inches out of their vertical, so they aren't able to reach it.
Cincinnati only.
And you have to show proof of living in Cincinnati in order to be able to buy
Ohio
one.
driver's license required. Cincinnati power bill must be presented.
And if you buy one with the intent to send it to somebody else, we will shoot you right then and there.
Heaven
we know.
Hill
Heaven Hill
loves you.
We know.
Sincerely, your friends at Heaven Hill.
No, Heaven Hill,
What
we
up,
love them. No, we really appreciate sending that our way. I mean, I've not tried it since like the first couple batches, so I'm curious if anything has changed significantly, and we'll get into it before long. But we should get into the little bit of news that we have for this week, because a little peek behind the curtain, little peek,
Pull it back. Pull it back.
Eric and I were recording this about a week before this is actually supposed to come out. And the reason being that I'm going to be out of town the week this comes out. If you're watching this on YouTube, or if you primarily watch the YouTube channel, youtube.com/This Is My Bourbon Podcast, you will have noticed that the previous week I missed a live stream. That's because I was traveling to Disney as of recording. And then, after this recording, before this episode came out. So I didn't have time to do a live stream or anything, but we're taking Eden to Disney for her very first time. We're just going to Magic Kingdom, then we're going down.
I love it.
We're going down to the beach for a week. But I will be doing a live stream the week that this episode comes out with my sister-in-law, Emma, whom everybody really enjoyed seeing last year. For that stream, and by popular demand, she will return.
Funny story. Addison went over to one of her friends' house, and guess what they watched?
Did they watch Strangers?
Yes.
No way. That's crazy.
Yeah. And I was like, Addison, you know the blonde-haired one,
Dollface.
Yes. Guess who that is? And
That's
she was
Lucy's
like,
sister.
no way. She was like, no way. Yeah. But I had never told her about it. And she's just now like got to that point where her and her friends like want to watch a scary movie. But then she comes home and she's freaked out and she won't go to sleep. But either way, so
she's going to be in high school next year.
yeah. Either way, she thought it was awesome that was like everything was connected. She was like,
That's really cool. So yeah, they filmed it in Northern Kentucky.
Yeah.
Too. I mean, it was right up in Newport, which, by the way, reminds me, I'm going to be up at New Riff tomorrow. Do you need me to get our bottles?
Yes.
Okay.
I will make sure that you can do that.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, we've got a bottle of the sherry.
Oh, bottle.
finish.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, the sherry finish.
I just got one.
Yeah. Oh, that's perfect.
They may have more. I don't know.
I'm going to Disney this week. I need to not buy any bourbon.
Well, you can get our bottle. It is our bottle.
Yes.
And we'll talk about it when you get back.
We will do so, indeed. But anyway, news. I don't know why. What was my segue about saying if you're watching this on YouTube? Just about the... Oh, what I was saying is that we're recording this not long after we recorded last week's episode, so we don't have as much news,
Not much news
to get to this week. But... we do have a new record on the books for a single cask of whiskey. Paid for, I guess, at auction. $19.2 million for a barrel of Ardbeg.
For a barrel of scotch.
Yep. The new record cask goes by the name Cask Number 3, bought by an anonymous person. It is a single malt 1975 Scotch from Ardbeg, located on the south coast of the island of Islay, in the Argyll and Bute region of Scotland. I don't know if I said any of those places right. Per Business Insider, the buyer has opted to receive 88 bottles of Cask Number 3 yearly over 5 years, thus suggesting 440 bottles in total. The quick math, that comes to approximately $43,636 and change per bottle, approaching $1,800 per ounce based on 750 milliliters per bottle.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. A lot of money. $19.2 million for one barrel. Better have a really good sticker on it is all I'm going to say.
Fucking right. Better have, like, friggin' horses
diamond
on
encrusted and
I don't even know.
The hair of, like, Elvis Presley or something. I don't know. As of recording, this is going to be last week by the time this episode comes out. But Bardstown Bourbon Company has 2 new releases that are going to be coming out. First of all is Discovery 8, which they say pushes the boundaries of whiskey innovation with each release. But Series 8 takes the program to a new level with our most complex creation to date. We start with an artfully crafted blend of Kentucky bourbon, 2 Indiana rye, and aged Canadian whiskey. We then add a custom selection of 5 oak staves that were created specifically to enhance the unique flavor of the original blend. The staves provide nuances that range from French toast to Rioja barrels, and the result... French toast. And I'm assuming that means French, like oak. Like French oak. Yeah, but anyway. And the result is a celebration of innovation and a spirit bursting with flavor. I believe that's going to be $130, $140 per bottle. So...
Do you think Maker's Mark's just sitting back looking and being like, we started this?
We did this. No, I mean, they have to be, right? They have to be looking at, like,
that's the thing right now. Like, different staves and all that. Like, we are in that. Like,
yeah.
I feel like that has replaced the toasted type stuff. We're still seeing toasted and all that stuff. So, once Wild Turkey does their stave profile thing, it'll be time to move on to something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maker's Mark just is looking back like...
What if Maker's Mark takes a stave finished whiskey, but then they also finish it in, like, sherry casks or something?
And they're just like, you know what? Fucking doing it.
We're just doing it. We're just doing it. But they also have another... Bardstown Bourbon Company has another release. It's called the Verkulen collaboration. The Verkulen...
What'd you call me?
Verkulen.
What does that mean?
And don't call me Shirley.
Are we allowed to say that word?
It's their word, sorry. It means men of the hills in Gaelic.
You call me a hillbilly?
Sure. It is the first of its kind in global spirits and a true transatlantic effort from 2 historic whiskey cultures. Bardstown Bourbon Company collaborated with the Powers Court Distillery in Wicklow, Ireland, to create this release by meticulously shipping bourbon blends and Irish whiskey to and from Ireland until they arrived at a perfect union. The result is a blend that truly celebrates the tradition of both countries, highlighting a beautiful bourbon blend and an exquisite 21-year Irish single malt to create a breathtaking and inimitable pour. Take a journey across the pond and experience. Don't know the price on that one. I'm imagining that's probably closer to $150 though.
How much they gotta sell it for to pay for the shipping of all that back and forth?
I mean, I don't even want to think about it. Honestly, I don't need that kind of stress in my life. Aside from that, we don't really have any new releases to talk about because we're so early in the week that there is nothing yet that is collated on the internet. So we do have TTB labels, though. It looks like 80 Laws Whiskey is going to be putting out a bottled and bond straight corn whiskey. Kind of a cool label, but interesting.
Is it as cool as this?
Oh, no, not at all. No.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't have I had to switch windows real quick. Looks like there's a new brand coming out. We've got 5 different labels from them. It's called Bridle and Bit, So leaning into that horse racing thing, but it looks like it's MGP whiskey, but it's bottled in Frankfurt. We got, so like I said, we got 5 different labels. We got a toasted bourbon of 4 years old, 112 proof. We got a double oaked bourbon, 4 years old. I don't think the proof is right because this is also 112, unless they're consistently putting out 112 proof bourbons.
Maybe that's their gimmick.
Could be. I'm on board with it. They got a cast strength small batch bourbon at 112 proof, so I think our theory is falling apart there. A 14-year-old American light whiskey at, do you want to take a guess?
I'm going to say 112.
112, yeah, wow.
Damn.
That was impressive. Yeah.
Get better at this thing.
And a double oaked rye whiskey. It's 4 years old and 112 proof.
112, I was going to say that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to ruin the surprise for you.
No, I was going to say it anyway. I wrote it down.
Yeah.
Time stamped it
so,
right there.
We'll have to... Just wanted to prove you were ahead of it, ahead of the curve. We'll have to check that out. I mean, I'm curious. I know that it's really just MGP, but
hey, I'm down.
I'm not too upset about it. Casey Jones Distillery.
It's got Casey Jones?
Yeah,
from the Turtles. Hockey mask.
See, you think Turtles when you hear Casey Jones, and I think the Grateful Dead because they've got a song called Casey Jones.
And we're both wrong.
We're both wrong because this is a whiskey distillery. They've got a straight rye whiskey coming out in Square Pot Distill. Square Pot. What's the stills? That's the word I was looking for. Looks to be 117 proof, 2.5 years old, and that's about it. But I have not had anything from Casey Jones. Have you?
No, just the action figure.
I can play the song on guitar.
There is a band. There's a hardcore band called Casey Jones.
Is there?
Did
not know that.
Got punched in the face watching them one time.
Nice. Did you break your nose?
No, that was the time before, but it wasn't intentional. I was just way too close to the mosh pit.
That's fair. We got 2 more labels. The first is a new whiskey. From Chattanooga.
Oh, tell me about it.
Experimental single batch series, straight bourbon whiskey finished in Muscatel and Sauternes barrels. Mash bill of corn, malted rye, and malted barley. Finishing 57% Muscatel, 43% Sauternes. 7 barrels, 102 proof. Our experimental single batch series. That's weird. Single batch is a limited collection of whiskeys and spirits born from our 100-gallon experimental distillery in downtown Chattanooga. Each batch utilizes a multitude of grains, barrels, techniques, and unique ingredients to express uncompromised creativity and innovation within our craft. I'm excited for that.
No, I love Chattanooga stuff. I'm all about it.
Faux show. And then last but not least, got a new product coming from Obtainium.
Okay.
It is a bourbon whiskey finished in used oak beer barrels. 36% rye, 6 years old, looks to be about 250 bottles, 59.4%, so about 118 proof. And that's about all the information that we have on it. It says bottled August 26, 2020. I would be really surprised if it were... Oh, it's distilled in Wisconsin. That's
Bale?
interesting.
Bale.
That's really peculiar. We're going to have to find out more about that. But interesting.
1 ounce of news.
It's 1 ounce of news time. We got to find a better way to introduce this or for you to just interrupt me.
Well, that's kind of what I do.
Yeah, pretty much. Tell me, what's your 1 ounce of news this week, Eric?
If you're a snack hound like me.
Oh!
Little Debbie has released a new snack cake this month. The Snickerdoodle Cream Pie.
Buddy, didn't we talk about this last week?
No, not in 1 ounce of news.
When did we talk about it?
I don't know. We talked about Star Wars $5,000 drink last time.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I don't know if we talked about it or not.
We definitely did at some point.
Well, I
just
got
don't
more
remember.
information on it.
All right.
Snickerdoodle Cream Pie, and it has cinnamon sugar on it.
Interesting.
And each box comes with 8 snack cakes in it.
Okay.
MSRP $2.33.
Oh, that's
So be
not
on the
bad.
lookout. It's starting to hit stores now, July. So
Interesting.
I will be pairing the shit out of that.
Oh, I can't wait to
Probably
see what
on
you do
here,
with that.
on Instagram, and in the Upside Down and everywhere in between. So
I can't wait to see what's coming from that. But man, that reminds me too. I need to re-enter for.
oh, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
we're trying to win a case of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to know what a case of Little Debbie's is like. Is it 12 boxes? Is it 24 boxes? Is it a crate full of just cakes? I need to know what a case of Little Debbie's is like. Feed me the cakes.
Anyway,
I want the cakes.
what do you say we get to a review?
Damn, we got a big review today.
We got a big review, a review that we've been holding on to for a really, really, really long time. I think this might have been a pre-pandemic bottle that was sent to us. This is Off Hours Bourbon Whiskey. This is a private label through Liquor Barn. Our silence is deafening.
All
Here's
right.
the thing. We got sent this bottle for free. When I first tried it, I was not crazy about it.
It's set, though. You let it air out a little bit.
It has sat. I am willing to give it a fair shake. Can you give me a couple of some stats here, please?
Okay. The label, they cut off bourbon a little bit
I hate
there
it.
on the top.
I don't like that design choice.
But it's 47.5% alcohol.
95 proof?
Yes.
95 proof.
Produced for Off Hour Spirits by MGP Distillery and bottled in Bloomington, Indiana.
This is an MGP bourbon?
This is. We believe a great bourbon is for every occasion. It's for celebrating life's small wins, for hitting pause, and for creating memories together. Off Hours Bourbon, made for the moments in between. Okay, wait a second. Okay. I'm going to look at this again to make sure that I'm thinking this, but did they just say great bourbon is for every occasion, but this one is for the moments in between, basically? You know what I mean? They said you need to have great bourbon for every occasion, but this one is for the moments in between. We believe a great bourbon is for every occasion.
Guys,
It's for celebrating life's small wins, for hitting pause, and for creating memories together. Off Hours Bourbon, made for the moments in between.
Yeah, I think you read that correctly, my friend.
Okay. I'm just making sure. I use this bottle for the moments in between. And
Now, okay, tell me, is this straight bourbon whiskey?
straight bourbon whiskey.
Did you see an age statement anywhere on there?
No.
Okay, so this is probably 4 to 6 years old, if I had to guess.
Yes. Right on the front, bourbon off hours whiskey, straight bourbon whiskey. But no, nothing on the back. Looking at the neck tag, everything, no age statement.
Okay. Well, let's get into it.
Okay. I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna give this a fair shake. I'm not trying to be
Yes.
like.
No. I just think that was a poor choice for words
Oh no, absolutely.
on the back. Smells like MGP. It smells young.
It does. It definitely has that metallic-ness that I get from MGP.
I get a little bit of the graham cracker, but like a little bit.
But there is kind of a sour note in there too.
It's right on the end. It's like when you take a smell right up in the beginning. It's a little bit of graham cracker, but then it turns to something.
Yeah.
It's like if you're roasting, making a s'more, but you're using like a metal, like rod to do your marshmallow. It's like sweet, but then you've got like that burnt, like metallic metal smell. Not the worst thing I've ever smelled. Not the best.
No, it's I think it's slightly under middle of the road. It's just kind of there. Like most of it is just there for me.
Yeah.
You made a bit of a face. What are you thinking about about the palate, at least up front?
Up front, I get that burnt metal. Like it's almost like I took the smell and I tasted the smell. The finish is actually decent for being 95 proof.
There's a lot of the youthfulness though that comes through.
Mm-hmm. It's very
on the middle of the palate.
It's very corny.
Yeah,
but like that metal in the beginning is not.
I actually get a lot of that metallic flavor throughout most of it, if I'm being honest.
The finish lasts, but it's not a great finish though. Is the problem? There's almost
it's sour. It's fruit that's gone sour.
I was gonna say it's almost like. Have you ever had a sour beer? But it's almost like they put too much fruit in it, and it's like way too tart.
Yeah,
it's like
it is very tart.
Tart, not enjoyable tart. Like it makes your eye like water a little bit. Like
and twitch.
Yeah, it's like that on the finish. I mean, I wonder. Okay, just gonna. Maybe it's a good bourbon and Coke.
Looks to be about anywhere from $35 to $40 a bottle.
This is a good mixer.
Yeah, I could see this going well with Coke or something.
I just put Coke Zero in it, and it's actually way better.
Nice.
I could do that. I could make a big thing of bourbon and Coke with that.
A big thing of it?
Oh yeah, like a big jug of it and just pour it for everybody. Like a barbecue or something.
Yeah. Interesting. Not my least favorite thing that I've had. But definitely not my favorite by it.
What was the price you said?
Anywhere from like 35 to 45.
That's a mistake.
35 to 40, excuse me.
That's a mistake.
Yeah, it's too much.
That deserves the gif of the "oh baby, what are you doing?" I thought this was like $20.
Hold on.
What?
Breaking Bourbon says the MSRP is $47.
Oh my, that's a fucking mistake. I'm sorry. That's really bad. That's not good at all. You can't do that. No. Not with this.
No.
This is a Liquor Barn, right?
I think it started as like a Liquor Barn exclusive, but it looks like it's available through other retailers now as well.
Gosh. Man, that price. I thought it was like $20.
Yeah. No, I think we got this towards the end of 2020. So it's been open for a little while, but I don't think that it's really, I don't think it's soured it. I mean, I think it was,
there was barely, there was like a couple of drinks out of it. And since we were recording separately, you poured a lot of it out to keep for the review. And like, still like, that's it. It was just barely open. I'm going to Liquor Barn's app right now, and I'm going to look this up just to see because I'm curious
I think they have like single barrels and cast strength versions of these as well. I'd be curious to.
The first mistake is I typed in after, and the Liquor Barn app tried to autocorrect it to aftershock. Like,
what are they giving you with aftershock? Now I'm curious.
Aftershock is
I imagine it's a beer.
It's like a cinnamon thing.
Oh, okay.
Liqueur. It's $6. It's a cinnamon liqueur.
Wait, for $7.50?
For aftershock.
Yeah, it's $6 for a $7.50.
Let me see what it says here.
I feel like that's got to be a pint.
Yes, it was.
Okay. No?
There's a couple options. Okay. The 50 ml was $5.49.
Okay. So,
the 375 is $13.99. And the 750 is $19.99. Aftershock. Hot and cool cinnamon liqueur. I want some of this.
This is kind of going a little cinnamony for me.
40% alcohol.
Dang.
Dude.
For a liqueur?
Yeah.
Buddy,
I want to review that.
That's like Irish coffee post New Year's Eve.
I want some
liqueur.
I want some of that.
We have to try it now.
Oh, I'm going to find some. All right, Off Hours. $40.
And the more I looked too, the more I was seeing an MSRP of about $45.
$39.99 right now on Liquor Barn's app.
So inconsistent with the MSRP around the internets.
All right. Score this.
Just want to review it. All right. We have a review system on the podcast of nose, palate, finish, and price. Each category is out of 5. We give it a final score out of 20. Eric, what would you give the nose on the Off Hours Bourbon?
1.5.
Yeah, that's about where I am too. I
like the nose better than the palate.
Yeah, I think I do too.
So that's why I give the palate a 1. The palate is all metallic.
Palate's no good. Palate's pretty atrocious.
I'll give the finish a 2 because it lasts and it's definitely a decent finish for the proof that it's at.
I'm going to give the finish a 1.5. Despite the fact that it does have length to it, I don't think that it's got substance. Anything really outside of that metallicness, metallic flavor that is present, especially up front.
2 for Metallica. So
I'm giving it a 1.5 as well. $30 for a bottle.
40.
Like some places up to 40. Oh, sorry, yeah, 40. Some places up to like 45, 46, 47.
I give it a 1.
Yeah, it's not good, man. That's not a good price for this. And I mean, if it's like if we're going off of the $10 per year model, I mean, it is pretty much in line with it, which I don't hate.
It ain't good.
But at the same time, it's just not a good enough whiskey to warrant anything higher than. I mean, I'm gonna be. No, I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna give it a 1 as well. I don't enjoy drinking this. This is a 5 out of 20 for me. I've not given anything that low of a score in a really long time.
I gave it a 5.5.
Yeah. I wouldn't drink this, honestly.
Okay,
it's been sitting around for a long time, and I've not been dreading doing this review, but I've been definitely putting it off until off hours.
This is the off hours. We're recording in the off hours.
True, it's 12:15 a.m.
Let me ask you this, though. If this was presented to you in a janky, weird-looking bottle with a screw top, and it was $13, would you feel a little better about it?
Yeah, no, I think the price is really doing a number on us in terms of how we're viewing what actually we're tasting. But at the same time, I just don't think this tastes very good.
It doesn't. It tastes like you held a s'more over a fire, but you were using cheap metal like prongs and
yeah.
like all you get is like and for the first time, it's like you took something like you take a pan and you cook something in it, but you really are only doing it to season it for a few times, but you went ahead and tried to eat off of it. It's like this metallic, like that's just overpowering everything. And it's crazy because it's MGP. I don't know if this was just the barrels they got or what, but like this is some of the best MGP I've ever had.
I don't like the flavor it leaves in my mouth.
No, it's weird.
It's really bad. Okay, here's a question for you.
I'm gonna pour some of this.
The bottle they sent us is too far away. Or I would do some. I'll get something else. I'll tell you what I was about to ask you though, and it was because it was in my line of sight. Would you rather have the off hours or Dickel Bottled and Bond?
That's a good comparison.
This shouldn't be that hard of an answer. Wow.
I mean, I can get it.
You were thinking about this for way too long.
I can get that. It's sitting. It's right over there.
Go for it.
All right.
It's Monday. You got nothing? Oh. Maybe it's because I'm comparing it to the off hours, but this is actually kind of pleasant comparatively. I don't know. I don't hate this so far. This is coming from somebody too who has not been a big fan of Dickel Bottled and Bond for a long time. But where I typically, used to get this like only buttered popcorn note from it. Now I'm starting to get a little bit of brown sugar. Now I'm starting to actually see it, kind of open up a little bit. And this is the 13-year edition. Yeah, this is the 13-year. So I don't know.
And I'm back. What am I about to do right now?
Okay. Here's the thing.
They smell close to the same on the nose.
I would argue that the Dickel has more character to it, though. I think it has a
oh
more.
My God, it's still not good, but
I don't think it's.
No.
I don't think it's worse than the off hours.
The finish is way better, and
I really think the palate is better too.
There is more candy in the Dickel Bottled and Bond, because all I taste is that metallic, but I get a little bit of So the Flintstone vitamins, they at least were different colors, and you kind of got a little bit of orange or a little bit of red, and so I get that. I would drink this Dickel BIB before
I absolutely
that.
would. I definitely enjoy this more than I do the Off Hours.
That makes the Dickel better.
It really did.
Almost the same proof. Way difference in age though. But still. Wow. That's a thing. That's a thing. That's a thing. What about a blend of the two?
Oh, I don't have any left. I wanted to get rid of it.
I'll tell you.
Oh, I am getting a lot of the Flintstone vitamins on the back end.
Yeah, dude. It's like you get that mineral, and then you get like those.
I've got to get this out of my mouth now.
Ugh.
A long time ago. Curtis
the blend
and I,
is not good at all.
Well, I'm not surprised. A long time ago, Curtis and I did an episode where we only drank bottom shelf bad bourbons. And just for the sake of big ass August.
Big ass August.
Augustus?
Augustus August. Augustus.
Augustus. Save some for
Augustus
later.
August.
Maybe we'll have to do another bad bourbon episode.
I'll do it.
Okay.
What? We both grab.
I would say
You
two
grab
each.
2 each that we both think are just the bottom of the bottom.
And we have to review. We have to agree on one to review.
Okay.
We'll bypass Flying Blind. We'll bypass. Oh no, actually, we can make Flying Blind work. We could like blind each other with one of our bad bottles.
Blind each other with one bad bottle. Talk about the next bad bottle. And then we agree on one bottle to review together.
Yes. So 5 bottles total.
Yes.
Yeah. Just shoot the rest of that, dude. Stop pretending like you're trying.
It's not good at all. Oh my God. I'm eating the cake.
I think I've earned some Elijah Craig barrel proof.
Yeah, I'm getting ready. Oh, I know what I'm pouring.
What are you pouring? Oh.
Four Roses LE. I gotta wash this glass out. Oh man, what a turn of events from last week. Right?
Yeah, comparatively. I feel like we needed a palate cleanser though, so we could kind of readjust ourselves to,
bring yourself back down a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Readjust, because I mean, the one thing that I think we could have done better with the Wilderness Trail review is that we didn't get as much into specific notes or anything. We just were so taken aback by it that we were like,
well, I think that initial, like, we had the come down because we were so happy that it was everything we wanted it to be, because we had talked about this before and we were nervous, like, is this going to be as good as the 6? Like, we keep saying, like, do we want this to get higher age, because we're afraid of what might happen to it, because we love the previous age before.
Yeah.
And it was almost like, it's almost like when you're nervous about something and you finally get it over with, and then like you get that good grade, or you got that raise, or everything just worked out, and you just have that moment of zen and relaxation to where it's not about the particular notes or anything. It's just about that feeling of just being like, I would kick somebody in the balls for this bourbon, basically.
I feel like it has to be somebody that you know, though. America.
Your
microphone was not excited about that.
No. I got to get a new microphone stand, by the way.
I'd say so.
Remind me to do that, because this thing is just, I mean, look, this little thing that's supposed to keep, it just pops right out. It's not even going to do anything.
That's a visual joke for anybody
I thought about
who's
mounting one onto, like, getting one of like the telescopic ones and just mounting it onto.
I'm telling you, just get them off Amazon. They're cheap and they'll be there in no time. And we lost them. Night. Eric, we still have to do tips and bits.
I know, but this Fort Roses is exactly what I needed right now.
Yeah, I needed the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. All right, so here's the thing about tips and bits this week. We both saw a movie. I think people are pretty, they pretty much know what's about that. I mean, I guess if you're, you looking at your phone.
Look at the title.
If you look at the title, you know that we're talking about this. But we saw the new Thor. Thor the new Thor. Thor 4.
The new Thor. Thor's ass.
Which you do see.
Yeah, you do.
I didn't have anywhere to go from there. I had a lot of fun with this movie. I don't think it's great, though. I spent a lot of time going, because I took Lucy. I took Lucy to go see it with me.
April went with me, too.
And I spent a lot of time thinking to myself, I think I am wasting her time by taking her to this movie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. And I
was sitting there.
I felt like April was like, she was wanting to laugh sometimes to feel like she was making sure that I was okay, because she was like, you know what, if you just want to go, because I basically set it up. We went to a really early show before the kids got going, and we were like, we could have went to like a big brunch or anything like that, but she was like, I know you want to watch this, and I kind of want to watch it, and all that. And so I felt like some of the times when something would happen, she would laugh and think, oh, I want to make sure he thinks I'm having a good time, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
So she laughed like after you did, almost
like she enjoyed it, but she was like, it's okay, but like she wanted to make sure that I wasn't like worried about it. But in my head, I was worried about it, because I was like, what? Anyway.
So here's the thing too. We're also gonna. I mean, if you haven't seen it, go ahead and skip forward, because we are definitely gonna spoil the heck out of this right now.
Well, let's do like a short spoiler free, and then we can go, because this is what we do. We love comic book movies. This is a big comic book movie. And we thought we would do a joint tips and bits and just talk about Thor Love and Thunder. So Here we go. Spoiler free. You got like, what, a couple minutes here.
Yeah. I think that this is the movie where I realized that Chris Hemsworth is a good actor, but not a great actor. But I also think that he knows his limits. He phoned in a lot of this. I don't think because he didn't care, but I think because he didn't have the energy for this particular movie. And I think that a lot of that comes from Taika Waititi being a demanding and very energetic creative force. Everything that I've seen Taika Waititi make has been just kind of over the top, and I think that this movie kind of suffers a little bit from being over the top. But there are moments where the overt expressionism does work really, really well, and there are, I would say, maybe there's one scene in particular that jumps out the most to me as being really dynamic, and I think that it's done so very intentionally, and we'll have to get to that in spoilers, I think. But overall, Christian Bale is a capital A actor. I mean, he is incredible in this movie. I did notice a couple moments, though, where I was like, oh, that's the Batman voice, for better or worse. Natalie Portman can act when she wants to, I would say.
I'll agree.
And outside of those three, everybody else is just kind of white noise, I think, throughout. I will say, though, a lot of the humor landed for me really, really well. I forgot there's a few moments where I kind of like got surprised again at how funny I thought a particular recurring gag was, and then it popped back up, and I was like, I think I was probably the only person in the theater laughing as hard as I was at it, but it just caught me off guard every single time, and I think that's there's something about a recurring joke that just is so blatantly insane that works for me, and a lot of my humor kind of falls in line with what Taika Waititi does, the Pacific Islander kind of Australian, New Zealand style of humor. I find just immensely fascinating and so engaging. There's so much I want to say about this movie that I can't say without spoiling it, but I'll
give a quick spoiler free, and then we can go to spoilers.
Well, let me just say this, if in case anybody wants to listen to this spoiler free and then jump ahead. This is not going to win anybody over to being a fan of Marvel movies. I think is probably its cardinal sin, that it is not accessible to most people, even though it does provide a fair amount of backstory. It feels so rushed and so inconsistent, and there were a few moments where I just didn't. I don't know. There were just things that didn't work for me, but I still had a really good time with it, and I really enjoyed it. But I think that part of it is just the fact that I love Marvel movies, and I have been watching them since 2008, since I was 15. Yeah. Gosh, it's been almost 14 years now for me. Well, I guess for everybody. Nobody else is living on a different
long haul.
Yeah, but 14 years of these movies, and I'm invested enough in it to where I can find joy in what I'm watching, but I'm not so blind to the things that falter within these movies that I'm not able to understand them critically, or not to give them a fair shake in terms of knowing what I like and don't like about it. So anyway, good, not great, I think is where I sit with this movie. You, on the other hand.
So I will echo a lot of what Perry said as far as like being invested in the movies, because I can remember that feeling of watching the first Iron Man and being like, comic book movies are here. Like,
let me ask you this.
Okay.
And I've been thinking about this, not a lot, but off and on over the past maybe like week. Do you think 2008 was the most important year for superhero movies?
Yeah.
Because I definitely do. I think it was the year, because that's the year that Iron Man came out. Mm-hmm. It's the year that Dark Knight came out as well. And I think it is what brought everything about this genre into the public conscious, and also allowed people to understand that they're not just throwaway, nonsensical movies the way that they kind of had been for their entire lifespan, 2, 3, 4 decades worth of movies.
1000% agree, because you get Iron Man, and then you get like an after credit scene, and people start talking about that. They're like, you get on the internet and like, you know, this was not as no Instagram or anything like that.
I missed the Iron Man after credits scene. The first time I saw
why I don't remember what I read, but I was like, I'm supposed to stay for this. And so that started building up like the anticipation for another movie. And I don't know. Iron Man 1 is still one of my favorite Marvel movies. It looked great. For sure. It just made it was a movie that, like, if you didn't like comic books, I feel like you could be like, hey, watch this. Yes. It's a good movie.
Yep.
So I think in that year, in the year or two after, I
can't wait for you to listen to the Weekly Planet this week.
I'm still on the Star Trek stuff.
This week's episode, I mean, it is so funny how much you line up with some of the things that they are saying in this week's episode. It's really, really funny.
But like I do, I feel like that, like you just said, that was like a turning point for us. Like as far as like trying to get people, even if you didn't like movies like that or whatever. So yes, I totally agree with that year. Bouncing forward to current time.
We should be making better movies than this.
Yes, exactly. I am invested. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to pay to go to a theater because it's just me. Like it's us. Like even though we didn't get to watch it together, we were texting like, hey, I'm going to watch this. You're going at this time. I'm going at that time. It's just Marvel. It's comic book movies, and no matter how bad the movie is, or
I didn't think it was that bad.
No. I'm just saying. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like no matter if it's bad or good or whatever, we're going to watch it and we're going to talk about it, and the fact that we're talking about it is the best part about it. Yeah. But this movie it's a movie. I would say
it is a movie of all time for sure.
I would say that it's on the level of a made for TV special, made for streaming special. I think
I could see it being broken up into 4 parts for Disney Plus.
I think you could have broke this up into 4 parts, 3 or 4 parts, and you could have just put it straight on to your Disney Plus and been okay. Because if you're a fan of the Thor movies, you can see that it's progressively got to where Thor has become Viking Thor to comedy Thor, if that makes sense. Like,
do you ever really feel though, and he was called it throughout the entire movie, I never thought that he was Viking Thor before they started calling him that. I always thought that he was just kind of like war hero Thor. You know what I mean? Like he didn't.
Yeah, he never looked like the quote original Thor, to where it was like kind of the plain and the
but not even
shoulders
that.
And all that.
Not even that. Like you say like Viking, and it's this image of a rough and tumble, gruff like warrior who's got like.
Did you see did you see him in the original Hulk? The old Hulk thing?
Yeah, no. Like that I think is closer to what we would consider to be a Viking Thor. And right. I think that like this is like flashy Thor. This is glamour Thor more than it is Viking Thor.
This is hair metal Thor.
Yeah, and the only time that I really felt close to even considering him being Viking Thor was when he had, and this is not a spoiler because it's in the trailers, but when he was wearing the suit that had the fur on his cape. Yeah. And like that was more traditional Viking-esque, but he wore it for all of 2 minutes and then it was gone for the rest of the movie. I just think
that old Kirby style and stuff like that, he felt more of Viking than the current stuff.
See, I still feel like that's more superhero Thor. Okay. And I mean, a lot of that is just because, that period was so clean and the way that they drew characters was so well defined, and it wasn't as like if you were to really get a Viking Thor, it would not be able to exist within the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I think Jason Aaron made close to a Viking Thor than we did.
Absolutely. But you can't just say, oh, the inspiration for this was Viking Thor, and so what we're putting on the screen is also Viking Thor without actually showing proof of it.
Sure.
I felt like we were just told so much during the movie that we weren't actually shown.
Yeah. That's this whole movie. We were told things and we were never shown anything.
Yeah. That's definitely one of its, not just its, I said its biggest sin was just being a comic book movie that people couldn't get into because they don't have anything attached to it emotionally or otherwise. But I think that's the other thing too, is that you are told but not shown a significant amount of this movie. Yeah. There is just exposition dump after exposition dump throughout.
So
talk about, I don't even have to see the things that led up to where we are in this movie. Just have the characters talk about it. Just have them express, what their feelings were, or have a good, decent flashback that walks you through those steps. I don't need narration. I feel like they assume that I'm stupid because I'm being provided with narration.
If you're listening, I just did this hand gesture that said, exactly.
And there it is.
Yeah. Because, okay, so getting back to this movie, I felt this movie thought that whoever's watching it wouldn't think anything about it, and they would just watch it and be done and walk out and go away. Yeah. When there is millions of people, or however, or at least just us two right here, who would watch this movie, and while we're watching it, think about it, and then when we left, we would think about it even more. I rewatched all the Thors before this, and still, I love Thor Ragnarok. I think Thor Ragnarok is the best example of what they were trying to do, because you've still got Asgard, and you've still got comedy, but you didn't overdo either one.
You know what this is? If we're talking Iron Man, Thor Ragnarok is to Iron Man 2 what Thor Love and Thunder is, or excuse me, Thor Ragnarok is to Iron Man 1 what Thor Love and Thunder is to Iron Man 2.
I'll agree. Yeah.
It's that same kind of almost pointless kind of dropped into the thick of it villain who is kind of tangentially related to the protagonist, but we're still kind of invested in it because we I mean, we can both agree that Thor Ragnarok is the best of the Thor movies.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
I will, yeah.
But I almost categorize Thor 1 and 2
They're
as
different.
Separate movies from what Thor 3 is.
If you watch them all in a row, there is a significant change from Dark World to Ragnarok.
And I still enjoy Dark World. I really do enjoy that movie. It's not perfect. But it does have its high points.
Its parts, yes.
It does a lot to show the humanity of Thor through the guise of him trying to interact as a human with a human counterpart.
Because you see what he wants. He wants to be with Jane. You see that there, and then Ragnarok, there's no Jane, and then here we are. We're jumped back to Love and Thunder, and Jane's back. So yeah, you see the progression of Thor trying to be a normal person and all that. But this movie, it's just okay. Spoiler free. Over a lot of goofiness.
Yeah.
Some good action. Visually, looks cool. Love it. Don't feel like it really added anything to the Marvel cinematic universe.
I don't think so either. I think it was way too contained, for sure.
Yeah. It didn't do anything to further any of the story that's going on, and because that's the thing we're used to now. We're used to all these movies having the movie, and then part of it prolonging the overall story of like the Infinity Stones or something like that. This just felt like it was
it's aimless. It's aimless.
It's like a TV special. It's a TV special.
Yeah, like we know what is supposed to be happening during this phase of Marvel movies. We know that there's supposed to be the multiverse. We know that there are supposed to be all these different variants that are jumping around, and we're supposed to, eventually get to the point where there's Kang the Conqueror, and it's going to be a multiversal war, and there's going to be an incursion, and things are going to change forever. And it's just this did nothing for it. It did nothing for it. And they have to get it together very, very quickly. And I think we're at the point now where we can't say anything else without jumping into the spoiler territory of
Spoilers. But I'm sorry if you're watching this. Watch it. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
It doesn't do much. It's just a straightforward story that has no depth. And then it's Thor. And it's whatever. So spoilers now.
What would you think about... I take our spoiler-free review, include that in the main episode, and then all of the big spoilers. Because this was a heavy part of the episode. Actually, putting that out as a bonus tips and bits.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, because
big ass August.
There's so
big
much
ass July.
Jeez, those some giant Jiggly's July.
Jiggly.
Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is the main episode is not going to have all our spoilers and everything. And if you want to hear our full review, you can just check out. It'll be still in the podcast feed. But I'm going to just isolate the full, I guess, our full review of it, because there is a lot there. That's more than we talked about the off hours.
I'm down with it.
Yeah. All right. I guess that about does it for this episode then.
I think so.
I think we're...
Man,
yeah,
I want to be in Disney with you.
Dude, I wish that you guys could come and see Eden's little face when she gets to meet Mickey and Minnie. I don't know what's going to be like. Lucy and I we were about to go to sleep, and we're like, can you believe that we're going to be in Disney this week? And then we were like, we can't think about it too much, or else we're just going to start bawling.
Yeah.
Because it's just thinking about Eden getting to go and experience just the thrills of it all. And I'm so pumped. I'm so excited for it. But by the time this episode comes out, y'all have seen at least a little bit, a little taste of what it was like taking a toddler to Disney for the first time. Get to see her walking down Main Street in her little Disney outfit.
Her little picture in front of the castle. Take her to Dumbo. You got to do the Barnstormer. You got to get the snacks. Oh, remind me, before you get there, I found a boozy milkshake in Magic Kingdom that I need you to do.
Yes. Sounds good.
So,
I'm down for it. All right. Thank you all so much for listening to this episode. It was all over the place and fun and crazy, but Eric is going to bring us home by letting you all know where you can follow us, where you can find us, where you can support us, all those important things.
Yes.
Eric, the floor is yours.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank Patreon, because that's where you want to go. Yeah, because that's where you want to go to support the show. For as low as $1 a month, you can support the show, and at $5, you get all the uncut stuff, all the bonus episodes, pretty much everything, and then anything like my mic. I need Patreon money. My mic stand sucks, but go to Patreon, support the show. There's bills to pay. We want to do more stuff.
Mouths to feed.
Yes, mouths to feed, all that stuff, and you get extra content, and that's the best place to support the show. If you want to go and send us an email, you can do that at thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. You you want to send an email to ask us a question, send us a sample or a pairing to do, send an email to thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. If you want to get some apparel, bourbonshop.threadless.com and whiskeymutant.shopify.com. If you want to leave a message for the Bell Ring segment, it's 859-428-8253. You can leave a voicemail. We'll respond to you, and then we'll play that on there, and we'll see what happens after that. And then on all social media, it's at MyBourbonPod. You can follow Perry at 1792. Let me start that over. At P Ritter 1792. And then you can follow me at Whiskey Mutant. And then go to YouTube. This is My Bourbon Podcast on YouTube every Thursday night at 8, except for one of the next ones coming up because Perry's on vacation. But other than that, there is...
Sorry, I stopped paying attention for a second.
Don't worry about it. I got this. There's videos, there's live streams, all that stuff.
Oh, the YouTube channel. Yeah.
Perry goes live every Thursday
if you're
at
listening,
8.
If you're listening to this, the only live stream that you missed was the one that didn't happen last week. And this week, there's one happening
right.
with Emma.
Yeah.
My sister-in-law. So
yeah, you heard it. He said it. If you want to leave a review.
I'm trying to figure out what to do for that, though. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm trying to figure out what to do. Like,
scariest bourbons.
But that's the thing is, like, should I do bourbons that are so good that they're scary?
Or bourbons that are so bad that they suck?
I only have so much room in my...
You only have so much room
luggage.
for Off Hours and Dickel Bottom Bar.
Yeah.
If you want to leave a review, you can
just
do that.
high proof stuff.
Yeah. Just be scary. Put a mask on. Be fine. Leave a review, all that stuff. And then just write letters. Tell people about the show. Yeah, do the thing. You see your friend at work.
Do the thing.
You like bourbon? Yeah, I like bourbon. Okay, you should listen to This Is My Bourbon Podcast.
Buddy.
Yeah, they talk about bourbon. They talk about comic books. They talk about Ninja Turtles. They talk about Thor, and everything in between. Take us home.
That was really cool.
You like
I
that?
liked that. That was nice. Yeah. Guys, that does it for this week. Next week, we're going to be scrambling to get another episode together because that's just how we're rolling at this point. I don't know. What should we review? I don't think I have anything.
I got a Blue Run over there we haven't reviewed yet.
Oh,
Reflection.
yeah. We definitely need to get that.
That one's out there.
Yeah, and that's going to be the last week of... Geez, how come we aren't all the way through July yet before we get into...
Big ass August.
Exactly. Which is going to be so much fun.
We're gonna
much fun.
watch Dragon Ball Z. We're going to get birthday cakes. We're going to pair cakes and ice cream. We're going to get gifts. Hopefully our wives give us adult gifts. What? It's our birthdays.
All right. We'll see you next week. Until then, I'm Perry.
I'm Eric.
And this is My Bourbon Podcast.